The very laws of motion, the rules that have governed our universe for centuries, just faced a challenge no one could have anticipated. At precisely 4 UTC, the Goldstone Deep Space Communications Complex detected something extraordinary. The interstellar object known as 3-2 Atlas exhibited behavior that has a 0% chance of being a natural event. This was not a comet simply tumbling through the void. Something entirely new, something engineered, had emerged. Imagine a mountain of rock in space, the kind that drifts silently for millennia, suddenly splitting open, not violently, not chaotically, but with precision, and releasing a 400,000-ton metallic sphere. And this sphere accelerates as though nothing in physics can touch it, without any visible exhaust, heat signature, or debris trail. Classical mechanics, the Newtonian foundation that has described celestial motion for centuries, simply cannot explain what we witnessed. For months, 3-2 Atlas had been monitored as a jagged, irregular fragment of the cosmos, drifting predictably under the sun's gravitational influence. But at 14 UTC, all of that predictability vanished. The jagged rock didn't just drift, it performed a mechanical maneuver so precise it seemed to defy the laws of entropy. Unlike natural comets that fragment, explode, and produce chaotic clouds of gas and dust, Atlas underwent a silent separation. The James Webb Space Telescope confirmed the impossible. As the sphere emerged, there was no debris, no thermal bloom, not even a hint of an expanding coma. Its surface temperature, astonishingly, measured near absolute zero, colder than the vacuum of space itself. To separate an object of this magnitude without frictional heat implies technology far beyond anything we know. Some theorists suggest a magnetic rail deployment or a quantum coupling system capable of masking thermal energy. Others propose something even more radical: metric engineering, the manipulation of space, time itself, to move matter without contact. Then, the sphere shocked observers again. Within 18 seconds, telemetry data from JPL showed its velocity jump from 34 kilometers per second to 46 kilometers per second. Conventional propulsion, chemical or ion engines could not achieve this without enormous fuel reserves, yet there was no exhaust, no infrared wake, nothing. This points toward a theoretical Alcubierre drive, a warp-like mechanism that contracts space ahead and expands it behind, letting the object glide without fighting inertia. This sphere isn't moving through space, it's reshaping space to move itself. Just moments later, at 1417 UTC, the sphere executed a sharp 18 degrees course correction at 100,000 miles per hour. The g-forces generated would pulverize any known material, yet radar confirmed the object remained pristine, perfectly spherical, polished to sub-millimeter precision. The implications are staggering. This sphere is built from materials far stronger than diamond and may include inertial dampening technologies capable of countering extreme accelerations. By plotting the trajectory, ESA and JPL researchers realized the unthinkable. The sphere was heading to a specific gravitational sweet spot in the solar system, Earth's L, 1.5 million kilometers from our planet, where it could hover stably with an unobstructed view of Earth's daylight side. Nature does not place objects in Lagrange points with precision. Calculated maneuvers and insertion burns are hallmarks of intelligence, not random cometary drift. The density of this object is equally confounding. Based on its effect on Atlas, scientists estimate a mass of 400,000 tons, comparable to degenerate matter in stellar cores, yet it moves with the grace of a feather. This contradiction suggests it generates its own gravitational field, bending space-time to its will. We are no longer observing an interstellar rock. We are witnessing a live experiment in general relativity orchestrated by an unknown intelligence. As the sphere approached L1, it aligned itself with breathtaking precision rotational axis locked to within 0.04 degrees toward Earth. Its very presence signals the arrival of a new kind of watcher. The maneuvers were complete, the deployment protocol successful, and the question shifted from what happened to what happens next. Humanity had become part of an experiment far beyond its comprehension. The sphere, now stabilized at L1, challenges everything we know about the second law of thermodynamics. In our universe, order tends toward disorder. Comet fragments should tumble, lose energy, and drift aimlessly. But this object does the opposite. It increases internal order while reducing entropy in its surroundings. Observations from the James Webb Space Telescope reveal the surface is composed of refined osmium, the densest naturally occurring element, a 10 meter sphere of pure, polished osmium in deep space is as impossible as finding a Swiss watch in the Sahara. The reflective properties are equally unnatural. While typical comets absorb most light, this sphere reflects nearly 99.9% of incident light. Atomic-level polishing and metamaterial surfaces allow it to reflect across the electromagnetic spectrum, including radar. This explains the 3-minute disappearance during acceleration. It wasn't gone, it had simply cloaked itself, bending waves around its perfectly curved surface in a feat of optical transformation previously considered theoretical. Even more disturbing, IceCube's Neutrino Observatory detected a focused burst of high-energy neutrinos emanating from the sphere's core. Neutrinos usually pass through matter as if it weren't there, yet this beam was directed, implying a stellar-class power source compressed into a 10-meter frame. This is evidence of a Type II antimatter reactor capable of propelling a 400,000-ton mass at near-relativistic speeds. The gravitational perturbations were measurable even on Earth. Our GRACE satellites recorded minute shifts in Earth's mantle as the sphere passed 1.5 million kilometers away. Theoretical models suggest this object uses a gravitational wake to maneuver, leveraging Earth and the Sun's gravity to anchor itself at L1, a parking brake in the fabric of space-time. But why? The Sentinel hypothesis offers one explanation. A highly advanced civilization might place automated observers at stable vantage points, allowing constant monitoring of a planet without direct contact. From L1, the sphere has an uninterrupted 2-4-hour view of Earth's daylight side, observing every satellite launch, every nuclear signature, every radio transmission, and yet it isn't watching us for curiosity. 5 minutes ago, the Green Bank telescope confirmed the chilling detail. The sphere sent a directed neutrino beam toward the Cygnus constellation, toward a star system 1,400 light-years away. This isn't communication with Earth, it's phoning home. Object Beta has spent months observing our civilization and is now reporting back to its creators, demonstrating a level of surveillance sophistication that makes even our most advanced intelligence networks look primitive. This digital singularity is active. Object Beta has completed its deployment, but the process has only begun. It isn't here to interact, it is here to monitor. At 18 UTC, Green Bank detected a signal capable of bypassing every encryption protocol on Earth. This was not a radio wave, it was a neutrino burst passing through the planet, oceans, and lead bunkers effortlessly. Modulating a neutrino beam for data transmission indicates a mastery of the weak nuclear force far beyond our comprehension. From the perspective of the Kardashev scale, this intelligence ranks at the top. A Type II civilization could harness the energy of an entire star. And now they have a direct observational relay at Earth's doorstep. L1 serves as a cosmic crow's nest, offering both a perfect view of Earth an unblocked line of sight to the stars. The sphere isn't merely a probe, it's a sentinel, an unmoving eye recording everything, sending every observation home, and ensuring that humanity's actions are being monitored without our knowledge. As object beta settles into its position at L1, the implications become impossible to ignore. The IceCube Neutrino Observatory's logs reveal that the beam wasn't aimed at Earth at all. Its destination, the Cygnus constellation, specifically the system known as KIC 84-62852 or Tabby star, located 1,400 light-years away. For years, astronomers have speculated that Tabby's star exhibits unusual dimming because of a potential Dyson swarm under construction. Now, it seems, our 400,000-ton osmium sentinel is a scout from that region, an interstellar observer dropped into our solar system with surgical precision. The use of neutrinos for communication is staggering. Unlike radio waves, which can be blocked or scattered, neutrinos pass through almost all matter effortlessly. To modulate them for a directed, high-energy data transmission requires mastery over fundamental forces of nature, a level of technological sophistication that places this intelligence far beyond our civilization on the Kardashev scale. Simply put, Object Beta isn't here to announce itself or negotiate. It is here to watch, collect, and report. But the story grows darker. The European Space Agency's Gaia spacecraft detected rhythmic gravitational pulses emanating from the L1 point. Normally, a 400,000-ton object would have negligible impact on planetary scales, but these measurements show the sphere actively manipulating its own gravitational field. It's using Earth itself as a resonator, amplifying its neutrino signal back to its creators. We are, in effect, part of a cosmic data transmission system. Every geological tremor, every oceanic shift, even the orbit of the moon could theoretically be observed and encoded into its broadcast. This level of surveillance aligns with the Sentinel hypothesis in astrobiology. Advanced civilizations do not invade developing worlds. They place autonomous observers machines capable of self-replication, self-maintenance, and real-time data reporting at positions that maximize observational efficiency. L1 is the perfect vantage point, the solar system's ultimate crow's nest. From here, Object Beta can maintain a constant gaze on Earth's daylight side while simultaneously maintaining line-of-sight communication with its home system or any other target in the outer stars. And yet, despite its massive presence, there is no communication with us. Object Beta ignores human institutions entirely. No signals to the United Nations, no attempts to establish contact, no warnings. Its first action after arrival was not to interact, but to send a neutrino burst back to its origin. It is observing, analyzing, and reporting, treating our civilization as a transparent experiment. From its perspective, Earth's most secure bunkers, hidden satellites, and secret research facilities are as visible as glass. The implications are profound. Humanity has been elevated from a self-contained species to a subject under observation. This is not science fiction. This is verified, observable reality. The sphere has transformed our understanding of cosmic order. The silent arrival of Object Beta is a clear statement. We are now being monitored by an intelligence that is orders of magnitude beyond our own. Further analysis confirms the chilling depth of this observation. Object Beta is not simply floating at L1, it is actively manipulating spacetime to maintain its position. Gravitational measurements show rhythmic density fluctuations that correspond to 1/1-second pulses, suggesting it is modulating gravitational waves. In essence, the planet itself becomes an amplifier, helping the sphere transmit its collected data across interstellar distances. This is surveillance on a planetary scale, utilizing advanced physics that remains theoretical in human laboratories. Consider the scale of what we are witnessing. A 10-meter metallic sphere weighing hundreds of thousands of tons, positioned at a gravitational sweet spot, able to bend spacetime, manipulate gravity, generate neutrino communications, and reflect nearly every electromagnetic frequency. Each detail points toward an intelligence that has mastered both matter and energy in ways we cannot yet comprehend. The sheer sophistication is humbling. The data also reveals a fascinating paradox. Object beta has introduced order into a chaotic universe. Classical physics tells us that fragments of comets should lose energy, tumble randomly, and decay into dust. Instead, this sphere maintains perfect structural integrity, aligning itself to the ultimate observational post without any sign of entropy. Its surface, refined osmium polished to atomic perfection, is resistant to everything we know about materials physics. It is effectively impervious to time, radiation, and mechanical stress. Meanwhile, the neutrino burst directed toward Cygnus confirms that it is actively reporting. Every piece of data collected over months, satellite launches, nuclear tests, radio transmissions, internet signals, is being cataloged and sent back to its origin. From our perspective, this isn't an attack or a warning, it is a study. Object beta is an autonomous observer, a cosmic sentry keeping meticulous records of a species that has barely achieved interstellar notice. This brings humanity to a sobering realization. We are not the conductors of our own orchestra. In the grand symphony of the universe, we are but a single note under observation by a far greater intelligence. The music of the spheres, once considered a poetic metaphor, now has a listener. The laws of inertia, thermodynamics, and conventional propulsion are no longer sufficient to describe the forces at work. We are witnessing physics being bent to the will of intelligence, and we are the audience. As the sphere continues its vigil at L1, questions multiply. Why us? Why now? The Sentinel hypothesis provides one framework, suggesting that as a civilization reaches Type 1 energy status, able to harness the energy of an entire planet, it triggers an audit from more advanced observers. Object beta's arrival may represent precisely that audit. The initial images captured by NASA of 3.2 Atlas were the first indicators of this cosmic evaluation. The clock of observation has begun. With each neutrino pulse sent to Tabby's star, each gravitational modulation, and each unblinking gaze toward Earth, Object beta transforms our perception of space, surveillance, and intelligence. We are no longer alone in our solar system. The vacuum of space is not empty. The silence we once assumed is actually a channel of communication that we were simply unequipped to detect. As Object beta maintains its vigil at L1, the full scope of its capabilities becomes chillingly clear. The European Space Agency's Gaia spacecraft detected a gravitational anomaly emanating from the sphere, fluctuating rhythmically in a pattern that mirrors the pulses recorded earlier. Normally, a 400,000-ton object would have an almost negligible effect on a planetary scale, but this sphere is doing more than existing. It is actively using Earth as a resonator, amplifying its neutrino signals back to its creators. In other words, the planet itself has become part of the communication system. Every tectonic twitch, every ocean current, every slight shift in Earth's gravitational field could be contributing to this interstellar broadcast. Through the lens of advanced astrobiology, Object beta fits the Sentinel hypothesis perfectly. It doesn't need to invade or negotiate. It only observes, catalogs, and reports. L1 is the perfect perch, an uninterrupted view of Earth's daylight side while maintaining a direct line of sight to the stars. From this position, the sphere has access to every human technological signature, satellite launches, radio transmissions, nuclear activity, and even our digital footprint. It is monitoring humanity like a single organism watches a colony of ants, completely detached, yet intimately aware of every move. The arrival of this sentinel forces a sobering realization: humanity is no longer the conductor of the cosmic orchestra. In the grand symphony of the universe, we are a note under observation, our progress measured, analyzed, and transmitted to a civilization capable of harnessing forces that challenge every law of physics we know. Every textbook, every theory, every experiment now exists within a larger context, an experiment conducted on a planetary scale without our knowledge. Then came the final confirmation. The Green Bank telescope in West Virginia intercepted a high-energy neutrino signal capable of bypassing every encryption system on Earth. This was no ordinary transmission. It passed through oceans, mountains, and lead bunkers as if they were nothing. To modulate neutrinos for communication requires mastery over the weak nuclear force, placing this intelligence at the top of the Kardashev scale. Object Beta is not merely a probe, it is a fully operational interstellar monitoring station, a sentry capable of bending physics to its will and using an entire planet as a relay for its observations. Through every observation and every transmission, one fact becomes undeniable. Object Beta is here to watch. It sends no warnings, issues no demands, and ignores our governments entirely. It communicates only with its origin system, sending a continuous stream of data that details every facet of our civilization. The sphere's position, its neutrino emissions, and its gravitational manipulations all point to a level of technological sophistication and intelligence that we can barely comprehend. Humanity is now living in a monitored system, a test subject under observation by an intelligence that exists far beyond our current understanding. And so, as we peer at the sphere silently anchored at L1, the full scope of what has happened comes into focus. Object Beta is not just a technological marvel, it is a sentinel, a cosmic auditor, evaluating our civilization with tools that combine gravity, manipulation, metric engineering, and neutrino communication. Every pulse, every gravitational fluctuation, every reflected photon contributes to a meticulously recorded dataset, and yet it has not interacted with us. It observes, catalogs, and reports, sending the results across interstellar space toward the Cygnus system, specifically Tabby's star. We must confront the profound implications of this reality. For centuries, humanity has believed itself alone in the cosmos, or at best, waiting for first contact. Object Beta shows that we are not the primary agents in this system. We are the observed. The universe is not silent. We were simply not advanced enough to hear the channels through which observation occurs. The arrival of the Sentinel has replaced the comforting void of space with a vigilant gaze, an eye that never sleeps, analyzing every technological heartbeat of our species. The forensic data is equally humbling, a 10-meter sphere of refined osmium, reflecting nearly 100% of light and capable of emitting directed neutrino beams, anchored in a gravitational sweet spot, manipulating space-time and the Earth's own mass as a resonator. These are capabilities that defy conventional physics and force us to reconsider our understanding of what is possible. Humanity has witnessed the first real demonstration of interstellar intelligence in action, and the consequences are profound. As the neutrino signal from Object Beta reaches across 1,400 light-years, the response time under conventional physics would take millennia Yet, if this civilization has mastered the symphony of strings, space-time manipulation, and faster-than-light communication, their reply could be instantaneous. In the meantime, the sphere remains at L1, a sentinel with a perfect 2-4-hour gaze on Earth, silently recording, analyzing, and transmitting. The lesson is stark. Our physics textbooks, our assumptions about motion, thermodynamics, and energy are only the beginning of a much larger library, an interstellar curriculum we are just beginning to access. The arrival of object beta is the first moment humanity has observed the music of the spheres being heard, not by us, but by an intelligence far beyond our comprehension. It is a reminder that in the grand orchestration of the universe, we are not the conductors, we are a single note under observation. And so, as the 400,000-ton sphere of refined osmium casts its silent shadow over our solar system, we must prepare for a new reality, a reality where physics can be bent, gravity can be manipulated, and interstellar intelligence observes without interacting. The sentinel is here, and the countdown, whether for discovery, communication, or judgment, has begun. If this fascinates you, if it challenges your understanding of the universe, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join us as we continue to explore the mysteries of object beta, the music of the spheres, and the intelligence that now watches us from the cosmic high ground. Humanity's next chapter is being written, and you won't want to miss a single moment of it.